It's not about just surrounding yourself with 5 people who are making more money than you because you want to make more money, or they've got bigger businesses and you want a bigger business, so you surround yourself with people who have bigger businesses. And wait a minute. If everybody had that mindset, no one would ever allow somebody into their world who had a smaller business than them. Welcome to the Knowles Development Podcast. This is the last podcast that we're going to do for Season 2. Thanks for hanging in there. Thanks for engaging in the podcast. We really appreciate it. And we're going to pick back up right at the beginning of September. So hopefully you'll come back and join us then. We're going to goof off for the rest of the summer, do nothing, a lot of beach time. I doubt it. However, let's dive in today on mindset. One of the things that really got me thinking about mindset in an earlier part of my professional life was the Henry Ford quote, which isn't a Henry Ford quote, but we'll keep saying it's a Henry Ford quote. Whether you think you can or think you can't, either way you're right. I'll say it again. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, either way you're right. In other words, the decision that you make in your mind is more impactful about whether something's going to be able to be accomplished than any of the other forces that are impacting that thing. That is a crazy thought. Because when I sit down with business owners, more often than not, their issue that they're focused on is from some external thing. Some external market force, what a competitor is doing, an employee issue, this, that, the other thing. And the reality of that statement is, and I would argue it plays out to be true more often than not, that it's really up to the person who's leading to decide. And that really runs through all the levels of an organization. The frontline person, if they make the decision that they're going to hit their short-term sales goal, or they're going to hit their short-term goals around customer service or reviews or whatever it might be that they're using as a metric, that if they decide that they're going to get there, that they're going to decide that thing will happen, it will happen. I mean, we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Apollo landing. That was a decision, right? People decided, and then they communicated that decision 7 or 8 years in advance, worldwide. They put it out there. We will walk on the moon, and we're going to do it in this decade. And then, bam, it happened. Everything fought against that happening. Right? The technology wasn't there. The very leader who had made the decision was assassinated. So, you took away the leader of the thing, and it still happened. Understand the power of deciding something. Just as a reminder, and I think we've touched on it before, the word decide means to kill off all other options. Right? It's like pesticide and homicide. It's a very violent word to make a decision. And I think that's why a lot of us avoid decision making, because we know it. We know that by opening that door, we close every other door. Well, there's a lot of finality to that. There's a lot of pressure on that. And a lot of us don't want to step into that pressure. We don't want to take that on. But understand that it's the decisions that we make that really create our life. We have to decide. So one of the things that I've found in coaching leaders is the time that you spend in indecision is incredibly costly. That you're almost better off making a poor decision, making a decision in the wrong direction, and getting into action on it quickly than not making a decision at all. You will lose your best people if you stay in indecision. Talent knows it. They know when you're not deciding. They know when you're not heading in a particular direction. We all can tell when an organization or a group feels like it's rudderless, right? It's just wishy-washy. We're just in a boat that's kind of flopping around. It's not really going anywhere. We all have a sense of that. And the talented people in a group are not going to be okay with it. They're going to want to move on and move on quickly. You need to decide. Decisions matter. Make a decision, move on. It's one of the most powerful things that a leader in an organization can do. So when we talk about mindset and how powerful that is and how powerful the decision making is, one of the things I want you to understand is that what you allow into your mind really creates the environment in which those decisions are being made. So what are you allowing in? What are the influences that you are proactively allowing to come into your life? The problem is for a lot of us is this phone, this device, our smartphones, right? We're allowing so much content to come into our brain through that device now. And obviously there's other screens and other formats, books, audio, all sorts of stuff. But we're really becoming, ravenous consumers of content. Are you ravenously being purposeful about what you choose? Are you bringing that passion to the choice making and not just the consuming? Because it really matters. What you allow in really does matter. It's the soil in which your decisions are going to grow out of. And it matters, right? It's the nutrients, it's the everything, right? Plant seeds on dry, rocky ground and you won't get much of a harvest. Plant seeds on rich soil and the harvest will be bountiful for years. So be purposeful. And again, we're wrapping up this season here, so I want to leave you with this for the next handful of weeks. What are you consuming? What are you allowing in? Who are the people that you're allowing in to influence your mindset? It makes a difference. And those can be really challenging conversations. Deciding to spend less time with someone because the influence is not positive. It's not helpful. So it's a challenging conversation, I know. But over time, you will benefit from it. The other thing I will say is, just as an added bonus, I have found in my own life that my mindset improved, not only with what I brought into it, but also what I gave from it, right? You don't want to be a bucket that's capturing. You want to be a conduit. You want to be bringing it in from one end and then immediately sharing as much as you can out the other. That is really fertile ground for the decisions that you have to make in your business and in your life. So how are you giving back to people? Who are you pouring into? It's not about just surrounding yourself with 5 people who are making more money than you because you want to make more money, or they've got bigger businesses and you want a bigger business, so you surround yourself with people who have bigger businesses. And wait a minute. If everybody had that mindset, no one would ever allow somebody into their world who had a smaller business than them, who was making less money than them. The key thing is to be doing both. Yes, surround yourself with people who are pouring into you and helping build you up in terms of how you think and the things that you're working on in your life and what you choose to focus on. But at the same time, who are the people in your life that you're then turning around and giving that back to? And you're helping pull them up in the same way that you're being pulled up. That's the spot I wanted you to live in. I want you to live in both of those worlds. We're going to see you at the end of September. It's been our pleasure working with you on season 2. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.